me start with my own accommodation experience, right? When when I first started making arrangements to come here for to get my degree, right? I the exchange rate was like 150, 450, I'm sorry, 450 naira for £1. By the time I was ready to start making payments, it had flown to like 550, 570. And it was this COVID-19 thing that caused it. And I'd already made up my mind that I'm going to do this year, and I wasn't planning to. I didn't want to have any reason to move it. Plus, it's not like anyone knows when COVID is going to end anyway. So before I went in for my visa interview, I wanted to have everything in place. I wanted to have where I would be staying and all of that. And I was coming to Cambridge for the first time. Last time I came to the UK, I stayed in Essex, but I didn't come to Cambridge. So it was my first time ever in Cambridge. I don't know anyone in Cambridge. I didn't have anyone I was going to stay with. So I'm like, okay, let me look for an accommodation that I will stay. So what I did was, which I assumed would be safer, I went to the school website and I picked one of the accommodations that is not school accommodation, but is a student accommodation that is like it's for students. So I felt like, okay, this should be safe, this should be easy, this should be, it will be better to live around students, So that's what I did. So I picked one of the accommodations there, and then I saw a room en suite. First of all, I'm coming from Nigeria, right? So what I understand is self-contained, what do they call what I know, no, I don't know about what every other person knows. So what I'm familiar with is self-contained, 1 bedroom and studio apartment. Do you understand? Self-contained, those are the smaller single 1-person apartments that I was aware of. So when I saw 1 room en suite, I thought I would have my own room and probably my own, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have clarified and all of that, but it can happen to anyone. So I'm just saying, pay attention to all those details. If it's I figure now that, or I've noticed now that when they say 1 room, you need to check out if it's shared. Because after I had paid and I saw that it was installments, I can pay in 4 installments, and I'm like, okay, this is easier for me, so I can plan ahead, but I don't have to pay the entire year, because it's very expensive compared to Nigerian accommodation. Like the costs of when you change £1 to naira, it's very expensive, and I'm not a drug dealer. I figured, okay, why not just this works for me. I like stuff that I can do ahead, and I didn't want to do the entire, I couldn't afford to do the entire 1 year. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then I paid the first installment. When I saw that it was installment stuff, and I saw that here they pay rent monthly, I didn't know that I was tied to a contract for a year. My mistake as well. So the first thing I want to let you all know is that you need to read every single document that I sent to you. Like when you're trying to make any payment for anything at all, especially since we're talking about accommodation, you're trying to sort anything accommodation, read all the fine print, every PDF document, everything sent to your mail, terms and conditions. Read everything and be sure that you're okay with it, because I'm stuck with something now that I don't want. I was even lucky. What happened was I booked an ensuite, yeah, and then when I got here, I found out that I have to share. I have a tiny room and a bathroom, and I have to share living area, and it was like a common room in the hostel, like you understand, hostel kind of thing. So common kitchen, common living area, and I have lived alone for as long as I can remember. Since 100 level, I had my own kitchen, I have my own room, so I'm not big on sharing, So I started trying to reach out to them that, okay, I didn't know this is what I was doing. I didn't know that I had booked for so long. What if I can cancel? Like, I already paid the first installment. Can I cancel so I can go somewhere else after that first installment? I even told them that, okay, I found somewhere else to stay and all of that. And school is only like a few times a week, so there's really no need for me to. For where they kept telling me that there's nothing we can do. You've signed a contract, there's nothing we can do. So I'm like, okay, I can't stay in this place. I started to get angry and stuff. I can't stay in this place. And they're like, if you're not staying here, you're going to have to pay. And I'm like, what's the meaning of that? Should I still be paying for something that I'm not staying in? Like, I'm talking like I haven't collected key from them. I haven't seen this place. I haven't even, all I did was pay. And they said paying that initial deposit meant signing a contract. So you have to be sure that that's what you want to do. But I would advise, if it's possible, I would advise that you come in first, find a temporary accommodation, maybe a hotel or Airbnb, even if it's for the 2 weeks of your isolation. So during that period, you use it to figure out what you really want to do, the distance from wherever it is you want to stay to your school, or just anything you want to confirm. But I would advise, I don't know if you can afford it, because the truth is you can afford it, because if you get stuck with what you don't want, it would even be worse for you. Do you get? If you don't have friends, you don't have family, you don't have anyone to stay with, and you're coming here for the first time, I think it's better for you to just like, I don't know, if you go on bookings.com, I've been telling a lot of people lately now, if you go on bookings.com, put your budget, put the location, check there. You will find something within your, it may not be comfortable, but you can do your 2 weeks isolation there, maybe plus 1 extra week. And if you even book a month, which is 4 weeks, it will be way cheaper for you. So if you can book a tiny place, it's not balanced like that, so, but just for you to be able to do your 2 weeks isolation there. Then after the 2 weeks isolation, then you can now use the remaining 2 weeks to go and check the accommodation, or 2 weeks or 1 week, depending on what works for you. So go and check and see with your eye the place you actually want to stay. They keep saying this period that COVID-19, they can't show you the room. That's what they did to me. When I wanted to upgrade, I'm like, I don't want the ensuite. I can't share, and blah, they were giving me a hard time and all of that. So I went to Students' Union, I went to complain and everything, and it started to get really long. I paid for Airbnb. That's where I did my isolation, and that's where I was for another 2 weeks. So the time for that Airbnb payment was getting close, was almost expiring, and we're still dragging on this cancellation and stuff. So I'm like, okay, if I can't cancel, let me upgrade to a studio, because I noticed that they had 4 different kind of studios. They had the regular studio, they had premium, they had deluxe, and they had like 4 studios, sure. So I'm like, when I saw the video, so I'm like, can I upgrade to a studio? Send me a video of the ensuite and a video of the studio. Let me see what they look like, since you say I can't view. I'm like, let me come and see the place I'm going to be staying. They say I can't see it because of COVID-19. They don't do views. They can only send me a video. I said, okay, no problem. They now sent me the video. The ensuite was so tiny, like, if I was maybe in 100 level, I'm just coming into school, I understand. But I've done school 4 years. I've lived alone for how long? I'm used to having more privacy and a bit more space. I know that this is not Nigeria. And trust me, you need to have that in mind before you come here. This is not Nigeria. Their spaces are way smaller than ours. Like, you pay so much for so little space. But then, I don't know, it kind of grows on you, because now I've adjusted. It doesn't feel like so little space anymore. So moving on, they said they couldn't show me the room, so they sent me videos. In the videos, I saw the deluxe studio, and I'm like, okay, doesn't look so bad. I started planning myself, okay, I'll put extra storage here, because the wardrobe that is inside is so tiny. I'm like, this thing can't store anything. So I'm like, I'll put extra storage here. The kitchen area is here, so I'll put this here, I'll put this here. The dining is here. The dining was quite sizable. I'd already planned myself and everything. I'm like, okay, that's nice. I'll take the deluxe. They told me the difference between the ensuite and the deluxe, the payment difference. It wasn't so much. So I'm like, okay, it's better. As far as I have my own kitchen space, I want privacy, I have that, fine. So I paid. Fast forward to the day I came to check in and take my keys. I went there, I did all the initial blah blah blah, I collected my key, and I went in the room. And it was something else I saw, as far as I'm concerned. The room was tinier than what it was in the video. The video made the place look so big, so this was so tiny. And I promise you, this is not the place I saw in the video. This looks like the regular studio that I saw, and I'm like, no, I don't want this one, it doesn't have so much space. So I skipped the first studio, second studio, I paid for the deluxe, the third studio. When I saw it, I went back to their office and I'm like, this is not what I paid for. This is the video you sent to me. The position of the beds is different. The position of the kitchen, whatever, is different. The reading area is different. So even the dining size is different. You know what they told me? They told me that they have over 500 studios here. So I can't possibly expect that I will get exactly what is in the video. But I'm like, that's what a viewing is about. I'm paying a lot of money for something. I want to see what I'm paying for. And then you give me something else and you're telling me that I can't possibly expect. But you collected this same money from me and you're giving me lower than. And then she's like, Anna, if I speak English, I can assure you that that is a deluxe room. I've worked here for 6 years. At that point, I was already burnt out. I was tired of arguing, I was tired of fighting, I was tired of, because from the cancellation phase, it had reached like almost a month. I'd been arguing and dragging and talk. More than a month, because I started trying to cancel from Nigeria. Because after I paid in Nigeria, that's when I checked in and I saw a picture of the ensuite. And I'm like, no, I can't stay in this place. So it was from Nigeria, I started telling them, I don't want this place, please, I cannot stay in this place. Till I got here, till I did isolation, till they now started telling me that I should pay my next installment, or they'll take legal, whatever, they'll take action against me or something for owing. And I'm like, I'm not owing you. I have money to pay for what I want to pay for, but you're forcing me to take something that I don't want. So I'm not going to. After the long story short, anyway, at that point I didn't want to start going to student union again, to drag here. I was tired. I'm like, you know what, it's fine, I will just stay in the room. And I took the keys and I came to the room and I cried. And I cried. I'm like, how did I make that kind of mistake? I'm usually so particular about things, especially when it has to do with money that is leaving my hand and paying for something. I would check every tiny detail, but this one time that I didn't, it backfired. So anyway, what I'm saying is, if you're going to another country or even another state, I think anywhere new for the first time, and you're trying to look for accommodation or anything that has to do with money, documentation, contracts and all of that, I thought I had to physically sign a contract or see something that says this is a contract or blah 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 before it's a contract. But apparently that wasn't it, because when I got in here, I took out time to read all the pages of the documents. I read everything and I saw that, yeah, paying this thing actually meant that I was tied to a contract for 42 weeks. That's till June next year, from September this year till June next year. So I have to stay in a place that I don't like. But I've actually grown to love my space. I like the place now because I've made it my place, you know, and it doesn't feel so cramped anymore. I'm adjusting and everything, but I don't want anyone else to make the mistake that I made. And then whatever your budget is, try as much as possible to stick to your budget, because this place is expensive. I'm saying that in relation to if you're changing money from naira to pounds to come here. For everything you want to spend, you start thinking, but everyone's telling me that when I start working, I start earning money in pounds, I won't feel it as much, because every time I spend, even if I'm buying biscuits like this, I'll be converting it to naira, like, so this is what I'm spending right now, because that money was actually made in naira, which is technically of very little value. So just plan yourself very well. If your accommodation, your bills, and another good thing with this place I'm staying is it covers the bills, because it's student accommodation, I guess. I don't have to pay for Wi-Fi, I don't have to pay for electricity, I don't have to pay for any bill. It's just once I paid those installments and whatever, then I'm covered. So if you can get something like that as a student, I feel like it will be better for you. It will give you time to adjust and settle in. You need to find out what your electricity, whatever arrangement is, whether it's gas or one. There's actually a lot of things. You need to go on Google, you need to ask questions, you need to make sure you do enough research, so that at the end of the month, you're sure that whatever it is you're committed to paying, you'll be able to pay it. And as soon as you can, try to find a job so that you can earn money, except you have parents that are sending you money or people that are sending money, you're sorted. But by the time you start to go out and all of that, you know, just that's basically it, Sha. If you have any questions that you want to ask me about settling in and all of that, then just let me know. But for me, it's easier because the place came furnished, so I just had to come with my bag, with my clothes. So if you can find somewhere as well that is furnished, so you don't have to start spending extra money buying anything, maybe you can buy extra storage or stuff that that you can easily move, or you can easily leave it and it won't cost you that much, when you want to leave. So that's that. So if you like this video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in my next video. Bye.